This is Steve. We're out here in the bushes today. I'm going to show you something on some trees and bushes for your N scale or HO scale or O scale. Just bear with me here. We're going to go down here and look at this bush here. Okay, let's just break it off. I'm going to go to the skyline and show you this thing. Isn't that beautiful? Now, just imagine yourself kudzu. There's your nice tree with just covered with kudzu after you dip it in your glue, 50-50 water and glue, and then sprinkle your small grain foliage stuff on it. Trim the limbs as necessary, and you've got yourself a tree that's infested with kudzu. And if you take a look at these little sprigs, the one sticking straight up, for N scale, you could take that and dip it and spray it, and you'll have just a small pine tree, a real scraggly one. But that's just one. So let's go find another one here. Okay, this is part 2 of the plants. Let's just we're still in N scale and HO scale here, and O. It don't matter. Just take a look at this thing here. Just take this tree, spray it, put your greenery on it, make a beautiful little tree, wouldn't it? Let's just give you an idea how small it actually is. See, now I can use that in N scale or HO. Later on I'll show you some of these that have been done. Look at this one right here. Just beautiful, beautiful little tree. See if I can give you a close-up of it, show you what I'm looking at. And as you've got this stuff wet with your glue, and then you put your foliage on it, you can hang it upside down. The moisture in it will straighten it up. If not, just lean it against something. But that's a beautiful little tree. I mean, beautiful. Okay, here's part 3. Now, this is the same type of weed that I used for the kudzu. But now, let's go back to the skyline. See all these little upper parts with all these little fingers on them? You can take them things, dip them, put your foliage on it, and you've got a beautiful little, I don't know what you call them things you stick beside the house or on the corner of the house for like a concealment. Beautiful for that. Cut them the length you want. Use them as little bitty trees in the yard or something like that around the store. But there's just no bounds to our imagination here. And these things do stiffen up to a decent point to where they're not too fragile to place on your layout. But they are fragile. Okay, here's part 4. Now, down south or wherever, we call this rabbit tobacco. But take a look at the little bushes at the top. For N scale, that makes a beautiful bush in the front yard of a house or store. For HO scale, shape it a little bit. Make you a palm tree. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out there that could simulate. I take them and I spray them, and then I put my greenery on it, and then I put a little purple or a little yellow. Got a beautiful bush, beautiful bush. Alright, this is part 5. Let's just concentrate on that little bitty one right there in front of us. I'm going to walk in the briar patch here and see if we can't get a hold of it. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's just go ahead and snap him off. Now let me show you what we got. This thing here would be that would be perfect HO scale for a nice heavy pine tree after you put the greenery on it in the front yard or backyard of a house. And as you can see, they're pretty decent. I mean, you can do anything with these things. Let's walk up the tree here or climb it as it looks. Now see, I'd use that on N scale. That would be a huge, huge tree out in the middle of a field. And the way the limbs are shaped, knock that top limb out of it, trim it, put your greenery on it, throw you some apples in there or some oranges or something. That'd be a beautiful apple tree out there. Hey, we're going to do number 6 here. Okay, I've been picking these little guys up like this. I don't know what they are, but I like them. I mean, it's pitiful looking, isn't it? It's really fragile right now. But I would take this. I would take it and I would dip it. Let's go back to skyline. I would dip it in my 50-50, and then I would sprinkle my foliage on there. I'd go a little light green, and then I'd take it and hang it upside down and fluff those feelers down, and then put a little darker on it on the top side, and that'd be a beautiful little pine tree. Beautiful. For N scale, that's what you're going to see on my layout. Now watch this right here. This is how fragile they are. That's pitiful, but you can make it stick. Hey, this is video number 7 for the plants. This here's a butterfly bush. Most people know what they are. If not, ask your wife. She can tell you. This is more for HO scale, but you could take that puppy right there, do your 50-50, put your greenery on it, and by George, you've got a beautiful, beautiful tree. I mean, tall pines of all flavors. It's unreal. But this one here, this is from a butterfly bush. You have to toughen them up, you know, with your 50-50, and then you can spray them with hairspray or whatever you want to, and then put them on last, because if you hit them, they're gone. Hey, this is Steve. Okay, we showed you these bushes out in the wild a while ago. Well, now we're going to show you a finished product. Okay, I'm going to show you a mixture of all kinds of them here. This is just a little scene I threw together where you get an idea what they look like. I know some of them are a little tall. That's because I left the stems long to where I can cut them down and be able to move them around. Okay, these little bitty ones. See if I can keep them focused for you. And what I'm using is a Woodland Scenes turf blend, the blended turf, to do these. And when I get some darker ones, I'll use darker on different kinds of trees. Now you can see the kudzu ones there. I think they look just fantastic. Let's see if I can do this. And that's something. It works good for N scale or HO. I mean, there's that much detail in it. Okay, let's see here. Find you one of these others. Okay. This tree here is one of these trees. Here's what it turns out like. Now let's just drop that one and look at this. See, pretty durable. I mean, you can do a little with them. You just got to be careful. And then these, like these little sprigs here, these are your really fragile ones. You got to watch them. But now that is the top of those ones, and I just took it and sprayed it, and then you just pull off whatever size you want. So I can put that on paper towel. So, alright, but that's it. I think that's what my layout's going to consist of. Look at that, ain't that pretty? Pink ground with dark blue CSX, how tomorrow moves, and nice summer trees. Yeah, buddy, don't get no better. Hey, this is Steve. Alright, this is video 8. This is your finished product of your trees. Okay, see what you think, see if you can tell the difference in them. We'll start with our kudzu back here. That's them blackish fluffy ones, and they make beautiful kudzu trees. And then the same thing off of them, the high limbs make real good pine trees. I mean, what do you think? Give you an idea here. This is N scale. Okay, we'll go back over here. You can see that you do different sizes of them. They don't have to be perfect. Nothing out there is perfect.